Awesome. So as I was saying, my name is Ongamo Iving, and I'll be taking you through this presentation. And I'm going to try to be as brief as possible so that you can also get the opportunity of asking questions. So you can also write down some of the questions that you'll be having, and anything else that you'll need clarifications on, just make sure you put it down so that you can be able to answer them at the end of the session. I'm also going to be as clear as possible and as simple as possible so that you can also get everything clearly, all right? So that you can understand the best way possible, all right? So I'm also going to do it in a different way. I'm not going to share my screen or share the slides. I'm only going to share what I'll be writing. So you'll be able to follow through what I'm writing and what I'm talking about, so that at the end of the session, we'll be together on it, all right? So allow me to share my screen, my book, all right? All right, so I believe you can be able to see. And today we are going to talk about blockchain technology, all right? And I'm going to try to explain it the best way possible and in the simplest way possible. So I'm not sure if some of you have come in touch with the blockchain technology, but I'm going to assume that you've never gotten any information on it so that you can be able to follow through, all right? So we're going to talk about blockchain technology, and we are going to talk about it in terms of a revolution, all right? And we are going to talk about it in terms of revolution of money, all right? I know most of us are looking for the money. However, we don't know probably we don't know where money came from and where it's heading. So it's important to know where money came from and where it's heading so that you can also know on how you can be in touch with the new trends, all right? So before we even talk about the blockchain itself, we are going to talk about the revolutions that started before blockchain. And the first revolution is the Agrarian Revolution, okay? The Agrarian Revolution. And during the Agrarian Revolution, you're going to agree with me that we didn't have money during this period, okay? The only thing we used for exchange, we used to do barter trade, okay? Barter trade was the means of exchange during that time, where you exchange goods for goods, goods for service, and service for services. All right. So it was easier for people to exchange whatever they wanted. If they had cereals and they wanted maybe meat, they will do that in a bit. But you'll come to agree that when you have maybe a cow and you want to exchange it with a goat, it becomes a bit difficult because one goat doesn't have the same value as a whole cow. So it becomes difficult for you to do that transaction. So there was need for something that will be able to be very universal for everybody. And that is when the Industrial Revolution came up. The Industrial Revolution came in and brought something different. This is when the first currency came up, which is the fiat currency. So the fiat currency, right now we know it as paper money. This is the paper money, the money that we are currently using for our transactions. Now you'll realize that with the paper money, things have become easier. You can be able to transact or get anything with the value that you have. Let's say, for example, you want an entire cow, you can easily be able to give out money worth that cow. All right. Although you're also going to agree with me that paper money has also had its own challenges. For instance, it has been affected by fluctuations in a way that once, let's say, for example, you have 100,000 today in the bank, 5 years from now, it won't have the same value. Or if you had the same 100,000 5 years ago, today, it doesn't have the same value. You're going to realize that the value of paper money depreciates with time, all right? And also you're going to agree that paper money is a bit bulky in a point where, let's say, for example, you want to carry 300,000 to go get something. This becomes stressful. You cannot carry it in wallet. You have to carry it in a different way. All right. So it has become a little bulky. And also it has led to a lot of insecurity. Okay. It has led to a lot of corruption. All right. And it has also been very difficult for you to send money when it is when it's in its It's liquid form. Let's say, for example, you want to send money to Nairobi and you're in Busia or in Kakamega. It becomes difficult for you to do that in its form because unless you get a messenger who sends that. But when the internet revolution came in, which is the third revolution, the internet revolution made things a bit easier. So the internet revolution is the third revolution that we have. And the internet revolution also came in with digital money. And digital money has made things a bit easier. That is why even if you have, let's say for example, you want to carry the same 100,000, the same 300,000, you can easily carry the 300,000 without having to worry about its bulkness. You can carry 1 million in your ATM card. You can carry 300,000 in your M-Pesa. So this digital money gave rise to mobile money. Okay, and it gave rise to things like M-Pesa, for instance, and PayPal, and so many other ways of carrying money. So it has made it simpler for you to carry money, a lot of money, but in just a card. Let's say, for example, an ATM card, you can carry that. Or 300,000, you can carry it in your M-Pesa line without having to worry about security, without having to worry about it being too much to carry around, okay? Although, you'll agree with me also, the digital money has had its own challenges. For instance, if you send money to the wrong number and that person decides to withdraw the money before you reverse, that's it. You'll not be able to track back the money, all right? And because of that, we've had also a few challenges on where people lose money, all right? Then we have the fourth revolution of what we are supposed to talk about today, which is now the blockchain revolution. The blockchain revolution is very interesting. First of all, blockchain revolution has brought a lot of security in a way that once you've done any transaction, you cannot reverse it, number one. You cannot delete the transactions. You cannot erase it. You cannot do anything once you've done the transaction. So it has led to a lot of security. So with blockchain technology, you cannot be able to even hack it. You can agree with me that, like for example, our mobile phones, it's easy to be hacked. Our ATM cards or our bank accounts, some people have been swapped. People have lost money in their bank accounts, all right? With the paper money, people have also lost money, okay? But with blockchain technology, it's very difficult for you to lose money because hacking the system is not as easy as hacking these other technologies, all right? Now, with blockchain technology, I want you to remember that blockchain technology is also a public ledger, all right? And you'd agree with me that a ledger holds information. But in this case, because it is public, it has brought a lot of transparency in a way that anybody else can be able to look into the data that is there. So once you've input data in blockchain, anybody can be able to go through it. So this one is going to help also in curbing corruption, for instance, okay? Like if we look at the government of Dubai right now, the government of Dubai is entirely blockchained, which means the transactions that go through the government or the transactions that the government sends to other departments can be traced, all right? Which means even if, let's say for example, the government of Kenya is blockchained, once the president deploys maybe 20 billion to go to the Ministry of Roads, it can be traced back. Where did this money come from? Where did it go to? And how was it distributed after that? So if maybe the money was distributed to Nairobi and to the Ministry of Roads in Nairobi, but the roads were not carpeted the way it was supposed to, it means that the money was not used. So if the money was not used, it can be traced. Did it do what it's supposed to be done? If it did not, where did it go to? All right. So it leads to also fighting corruption. Okay. Now, blockchain technology also came up with a currency of which you call the cryptocurrency, of which I want to believe that some of us know about the blockchain, about cryptocurrency, all right? Most of us probably have heard about it, even though you might not have the full information about cryptocurrency, okay? Now, I'm just going to touch a bit on the differences between the paper money that we are currently using and the cryptocurrency. the cryptocurrency. Okay, so that you can know why are we talking about cryptocurrency. Okay, now with the paper money, we have different currencies. And you'd agree, and most of us are familiar with the dollar. We have the Kenya shillings. We are familiar with the Kenya shillings because that is our country's money. We have Naira. Most of us know Naira because either we've been to Nigeria or maybe we watch the Oga movies. All right, so we know about it. Some of us know about the euro. We know the yen. We've heard of so many other currencies. Now, we have so many other currencies other than this. But you're going to agree with me that most of us know the Kenya shilling because this is our country. And probably we are familiar with a currency of another country because we've been there. But again, even if you've never been to the US, most of us still know about the dollar. And why do we know about the dollar? Why is it that so many people in the world know about the dollar? All right. Now, most people know about the dollar simply because, number one, the dollar has high value. The value of the dollar is very, very high. And that is one reason as to why we know the dollar. Number two, most people know the dollar because of the demand. So the value of the dollar is high because of the demand. And the reason as to why the demand is high is because the usage of the dollar is also high because so many other countries out there are using the same dollar. So because so many countries are using it, the demand and the value definitely goes up. All right. Now, because of that, you're going to realize that the dollar is the standard value of all the currencies. And that is why, if you want to know the value of the Kenya shillings, where do you peg it on? Or where do you compare it with? You compare it with the dollar. If you want to know the value of the yen, you still go ahead and compare it with what? With the dollar. So the dollar has become the standard value of all paper money. Okay, and that is why everyone wants to compare the money of their country with the dollar. Now, you'll also agree with me, these other currencies are governed within a border, or they're restricted within a border, their country border. So which means if you have the Kenya shillings, it's very difficult for you to go use it in the US in its raw form without having to convert it into the dollar, okay? But the dollar, you can use it in any other country, okay? Now, the same way that we have different currencies in paper money is the same way with cryptocurrency, we also have different currencies. In cryptocurrency, we have the Bitcoin as the first cryptocurrency. And I believe most of us know about the Bitcoin, or we've ever heard about the Bitcoin. Then we have Ethereum. Ethereum is the second largest cryptocurrency. Then we have Ecoin. We have Tron. We have Litecoin. All right. And also Facebook will be launching its own cryptocurrency in January called Libra. Now you're going to understand that with cryptocurrency, we also have more currencies out there. But most of us will know about the Bitcoin or the Ethereum because Ethereum is the second largest cryptocurrency and Bitcoin is the first cryptocurrency. The same way the dollar is the standard of all cryptocurrencies is the same way the Bitcoin is the standard of all cryptocurrencies. Are we together? Now, the reason as to why we also know about the Bitcoin much is because, number one, it was the first currency to be created. Number two, the value of Bitcoin is very, very high. Okay, we'll talk about that in a bit. And also, the reason as to why the value of the Bitcoin is high is because the usage of the Bitcoin is high, meaning there are so many people who are using the Bitcoin. All right. Now, I also need you to remember that unlike the paper money that is only used for exchange, all right, remember the paper money is only used for exchange, the cryptocurrency is used as an asset, all right? The cryptocurrency is used as an asset, which means you can also be able to hold your wealth in what? In cryptocurrency as an asset, all right? Now, the same way, because as it is an asset, you're going to agree with me that all assets, most of the time, they always appreciate in value. You buy land today, 6 months down the line, 1 year down the line, 2 years down the line, the same land that you bought maybe at $500,000, you might sell it at maybe $1 million or 1.5 million, meaning it has appreciated in value. However, with paper money, you'll agree with me, if you had 100,000, let me repeat this, if you had 100,000 5 years ago, Today, the same 100,000 will not have the same value. It will depreciate in value, meaning it has lost value. But now, what is making paper money lose value? Remember, paper money is centralized. All right? It is centralized, meaning it is also governed. It belongs to a certain body. Let's say, for example, the CBK. The CBK has control over the paper money. So once the CBK decides to print more money, what happens to the 100,000 that you already have? The 100,000 that you have is going to lose value simply because there's more of that same money in the market more than the usage or the users, right? However, with cryptocurrency, the reason as to why the value goes high is because they are not governed, which means they are decentralized. They're also not held in a specific area. Okay, they don't have a central governance. All right, and because of that, the cryptocurrency cannot be printed and they cannot be duplicated. So which means if there are only, like for example, Bitcoin, there are only 21 Bitcoins around the world, all right, that are supposed to be mined. Although right now we only have around 18 million Bitcoins, which means because that is what is there, you cannot print more. Okay, so which means if we have a population of 50 million Kenyans and we all want the 18 million Bitcoins, what happens to the value? The value definitely goes up. Why? Because the demand is higher than the supply. All right, and that is why the value of Bitcoin is going up. All right, now, just talk a bit about Bitcoin. All right, as an asset, Bitcoin as an asset. Okay, now Bitcoin in 2008, when it was being created, one Bitcoin was worth 0 shillings. All right, which means it didn't have value. All right, however, in 2009, there's a few programmers who started using Bitcoin to buy pizza, and it gained its value to 8 shillings. Over time, it rose to 1,700. Okay, then it rose to 20,000. All right. Just a month ago, it was at 1.5 million. But today, as we are speaking, one Bitcoin is 2.1 million. All right. So you can imagine if you had Bitcoins, even if you only had 2 Bitcoins, maybe in 2009 when they were only worth 8 shillings, if you held them until today, the same Bitcoin that was worth 8 shillings today is 2.1 million, which means you would have gained, you would have made profits from what? From the same number of Bitcoins that you had. All right. Now that you've known that it's gaining value, there are 3 ways that you can make money using cryptocurrency, and we are going to touch on this aspect of it gaining value. All right. Now, the first way that you can make money through cryptocurrency is through something we call Forex Trading. I believe you guys are familiar with this. Probably you've heard about it or you've done Forex Trading before. Now, Forex Trading in cryptocurrency has a lot of money. Okay, you can make a lot of money in it because number one, you do it 7 days a week. Although in paper money, you only do it for 5 days a week. With the cryptocurrency, you do it for 7 days a week. So that means you can even make more money in cryptocurrency than what you can make while doing Forex trading with paper money. All right. Although for me, I always tell people, if you're not a pro in Forex trading, please don't get into it. Either look for somebody who has skills in it, who has experience in it, or simply just don't do it because you might lose money. All right. Number 2, you can make money through Forex, in cryptocurrency through buying and holding. All right, through buying and holding. What do I mean by buying and holding? All right, now remember, you can get the people who had Ethereums when who had Bitcoins when it was only at 8 shillings. All right, but today the same Bitcoin that was 8 shillings today it is going at what? 2.1 million. All right, so that means you can get Bitcoins, then you wait for it to appreciate in value. Once it appreciates in value, you'll have made more money. All right. Although you'll agree with me, for you to make money through buying and holding, you need to get it in bulk. All right. Get a few Bitcoins. If you want to get into it today, if you want to make good profits, you can go for more than 1 Bitcoin. Let's say, for example, you decide to go for 100 Bitcoins. all right, so that you can make good profits, okay? As long as you have the money to buy 100 Bitcoins, you can do that. That is 2.1 million times 100 Bitcoins. That is good profits that you'll make, all right? Although this one now, you'll agree with me that buying and holding is good for people who already have the money, okay? Who can go all in, all right? Now, the third way, especially for guys who don't have that huge amount to go all in, we use something we call the smart contract. The smart contract, okay? The smart contract. Now, the smart contract, number one, a smart contract is a self-executing program. Self-executing, which means it doesn't need anybody to run it. And also, it is 100%, especially the one we are using, is 100% decentralized. So it doesn't need anybody to be running it, okay? And that is what we are going to be talking about today, okay? Now, with smart contracts, first of all, they are deployed on the Ethereum blockchain and the Tron blockchain, all right? We are going to talk about Ethereum. We are not going to talk about Tron because you're not using Tron for simple reasons. Reason number one is because Ethereum, Tron loses its value so fast. Okay, it depreciates so fast. So, assuming you have a million in form of Ethereum today, then tomorrow, because of fluctuations, you come to realize that the same Tron you had in form of you had a million in form of Tron has depreciated by half, and it's now 500,000. What happens? If it was a client's money, it means you've lost money. All right, and it means it will be very difficult for you to convince your client that money just disappeared because of fluctuations. Okay, now because of that, we don't use Tron, we use Ethereum. Now, these are some of the reasons as to why we use Ethereum. Ethereum, number one, is 100% decentralized. Okay, meaning you cannot control it. Not even the founders have the control over it. All right, not even the founders. Are we together? So that means it's very, very safe. Number two, Ethereum has been created in a way that it will allow multiple smart contracts to run on it. Multiple smart contracts to run on it. Okay, so you can be able to put in more services on it. Are you together? All right. Number three is that the value of Ethereum is not governed by the founders or a body. The only way you can increase the value of Ethereum is by increasing the usage. All right. Now we are going to talk a bit about Ethereum. So here I need your concentration a bit. Now, we want to talk about Ethereum. Now remember I said Ethereum is 100% decentralized. 100% decentralized, meaning it is not governed. Now, the founders of Ethereum had one idea, and they want to increase the value of Ethereum to go higher, to be better than Bitcoin, all right? But because they don't have any power over it, because it is decentralized, the only way they will increase the value of Ethereum is to do what? To increase the demand of Ethereum. And the only way to increase the demand is by increasing the number of users. All right. And the only way they will do this confidently, or the only way they will do this the best, is by building a community of people who will do what? Who will in turn increase the number of users. As simple as that. Okay. But you'd agree with me, for you to build a community, there must be a common thing that they're sharing. And that is when the founders decided to come up with a system called the Forex smart contract. All right, Forex smart contract. Now, remember I said a smart contract is a self-executing program, which means it doesn't need a company to run it. All right, it doesn't need an admin. It doesn't need a management. Okay. Also, I need you to remember that Forex is not an application and it is not a company. All right. Forex is an ecosystem. Now, remember, an ecosystem is self-executing and it's self-sustaining. Are we together? Which means it doesn't need anybody to run it. And because of that, it has made Forex 100% decentralized. So Forex is the first 100% decentralized smart contract. Okay. Now, mark my words that smart contracts, not all of them are 100% decentralized, but the Forex smart contract is 100% decentralized. Are we together? So that is why we are using it, and that is why it's very, very secure to use. Okay. Now, why do Forex want to build a community? Now, this is one importance of building a community. All right. Let me take you back in history a bit as we talk about this powerful company called Safaricom. Okay. Now, Safaricom 20 years ago started with two services. This is when it came in, and it was only offering two services. It was only offering calls and SMSs. All right. And because of this, you'll agree with me that Safaricom built a community around these two services, calls and SMSs. Okay. Now, when the internet revolution came in, Safaricom introduced a service called M-Pesa. Okay. Now, M-Pesa, was it deployed on the same community, or was it deployed on a totally different community? You'll understand that M-Pesa was deployed on the same community that Safaricom had built around calls and SMSs. All right. And because of that, it made M-Pesa to be embraced very easily. All right. Now, a few years later, around 19 years later, Fuliza was introduced. Probably you've heard of Fuliza. All right. And you'll agree with me also, Fuliza, when Fuliza was deployed, it was deployed on the same community that Safaricom had already built over time. Okay. And what happened? Fuliza was easily embraced. Now, during this time that Safaricom had calls and SMSs, it was only interested in what? In numbers, not profits. Okay. It was interested in numbers because it was building a community. But right now, because they already have the numbers, they deploy the services they want on the same numbers of people, on the same community, and that is how now they do what? They make the profits. So when they were starting here, they were not interested in profits. They're only interested in what? The numbers. Now, the same thing is happening today with what? With Ethereum. Okay, so Ethereum right now, the founders are not interested in profits. They're interested in the numbers that will be building the community. Why? Because they want to bring in two services. Service number one, they want to bring in a crypto ATM card. Now, this crypto ATM card will be used by the Ethereum community. And this crypto ATM card, you'll be able to withdraw up to $20,000 from any ATM across the world. All right. And you'd agree with me, 2 million Kenya shillings, withdrawing it from an ATM, this one will be very awesome, because right now with the banks, if you want to withdraw even $500,000, or you want to deposit $500,000, there's so many questions to be asked. But with crypto ATM, you can be able to withdraw 2 million without having to worry that maybe you'll be told there's no, you cannot withdraw, or maybe to be told to write, I don't know what letters. Okay, so it makes things a bit easier. Now look at this. This ATM card will be going at 15,000 Kenya shillings. All right. And because of this, just 15,000 Kenya shillings, if Ethereum builds a community of only 5 million people, for instance, and all these guys buy this ATM card at 15,000 each, what happens? They're going to make huge profits. True or false? They'll make huge profits out of it. But remember, they have not made profits directly from Ethereum. They have only made profits from what? From the community that they are building. Okay, so right now they're not interested in the profits, they're interested in the numbers. So when they deploy this service, they can be able to do what? To now make the profits. Okay, number two, They want to bring in schools. Now, these schools will be teaching people about the blockchain technology. All right, it will be teaching people about the blockchain technology. Remember that the blockchain technology is the next revolution, is the revolution that we are embracing. And remember, we cannot do away with it. Now, remember, the internet came in and the people were skeptical about it. But today, we cannot do anything about the internet. We cannot go against it. The world cannot run without the internet today. And the same thing is happening with blockchain. There's nothing we'll be able to do without blockchain, because blockchain is coming here to turn everything around. It's coming to do away with the banks. It's coming to do away with the middlemen. All right. So people have to learn about blockchain technology. Now, once they have the schools, it's going to be easier to teach about the blockchain technology, how to even create the smart contracts. And because of that, because of the schools, these guys are also going to do what? They're now going to make the profits. All right. So right now, people are not interested in what? In the profits. They're interested in the numbers. All right. Now, because of that, once the community is growing bigger, what happens? The value of Ethereum will definitely go higher. All right. Now, that is the importance of having the community. Now, what is the importance of accumulating the Ethereums? Because the Forex smart contract helps you with two things. Forex helps you to build a community, and it helps you accumulate more Ethereums. Are you together? Now, we've seen the importance of building the community. Now, what is the importance of accumulating more Ethereums? Okay. Now, 5 months ago, when I started following up with the Ethereum, one Ethereum was going at only 10,000 Kenya shillings. All right, that is around 5 months ago. Okay, just a few months later, that is when I was getting started in the project, which is around 3 months ago, one Ethereum was going at 34,000 Kenya shillings. All right, so it moved from 10,000, it went to, let me meet somebody. All right, so sorry about that. So it moved from 10,000 to 34,000. Okay, just a month ago, it rose to 48,000. Okay, just last week, it was at 58,000. And today, as we speak, it is at 65,000. Yesterday, it was at 62,000. Today, it is at 65,000. All right. Now, in a period of less than 6 months, you can see that the value of Ethereum has gone up with over 50,000. So basically what is happening? Because of this Forex smart contract that is helping build the community, it means the number of users that are using Ethereum is going higher. So what happens? The demand of Ethereum has gone up, and so has the value of Ethereum. Are you together? Now, it is predicted that by 2022, that is only around 12 months from now, one Ethereum will be going at $2,500. $2,500. So you can imagine, if right now you can be able to get Ethereums at 65,000 and hold on to them. Remember about buying and holding? You hold on to them until 2022 and you sell them off. Imagine you'll be, from every Ethereum, you'll be making over 250,000. Is that not powerful? It's very, very powerful. All right, that is something that you're sure about. And there's a possibility that it can even go higher than $2,500. Okay, now, the importance of accumulating Ethereum is this. If somebody told you right now to buy 100 Ethereums, that means you need 65,000 times 100. That is over 6.5 million. Not so many people can be able to afford 6.5 million. Okay, but because of this Forex smart contract, this system is helping you start with this one Ethereum at 65,000 and accumulate these 100 Ethereums without having to go back into your pocket. So it is making things easier for you to do what? To accumulate more Ethereums. And because it's like, assuming it's like you buy one land, and because you have this one land, that land helps you to do what? It helps you to get more lands. All right, so that is the power of the Forex smart contract. Okay, now that we've known about that, let's talk about the Forex smart contract itself and how it is going to help you earn the money or accumulate more Ethereums. All right, now Forex smart contract has two platforms. It has the X3 platform and the X4 platform. We are going to talk about both of this. All right, now number one, the X3 platform, you earn 100% commission from all your direct referral. Direct referral basically means the person that you bring to the business. Once they decide to get in, you're going to earn 100% of what they're going to spend or 100% on what they're going to invest in the project. Isn't that powerful? I've never seen a company that compensates you 100%. All right. However, here you're compensated 100% for your 100% effort. All right. Now, number two, the X4. The X4 you earn from the team effort. All right. You earn from what? The team effort. And here you also earn from what? The ecosystem. I'm going to share with you how. All right. Now, how do you make money from these two platforms, the Forex X3 and the Forex X4? This is what happens. These two platforms have sources of income, and they have 12 sources of income each. X3 has 12 sources, X4 has 12 sources. That makes it what? It makes it 24 sources. So with this platform, with the Forex, it gives you 24 sources of income, a total of 24 sources of income. Now, how do they work? Allow me to draw so that you can be able to understand even better. Okay, I'll draw the sources or the slots. I'm going to call them slots. Okay, slot of income. All right, now we have slot 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right, now we have 12 sources of income, both on X3 and on X4. So I'll just draw one. Okay, now these are the slots that make you make money, that help you accumulate the Ethereum or that help you make the money. All right, now we are going to use dollars because you buy them using Ethereum, but you're going to use dollars. Okay, now for this first slot to make you money, or for this first slot to accumulate you Ethereums, you must activate it. All right, but the only way you can activate this slot is by purchasing it. Okay, so in form of Ethereum, it is worth 0.025. Okay, the second slot is worth 0.05. The third slot is worth 0.1 Ethereum. Now, instead of using the decimal points, we are going to use dollars, and we are going to assume, all right, we are going to assume that 1 USD is equivalent to 100 Kenya shillings. Although, you know, right now the dollar is at 112, right? So we are going to assume that 1 USD is equivalent to 200 Kenya shillings. Why? So that we can have an easier calculation, all right? Now, this first slot is only worth $10. What does that mean? $10 times 100, that gives it what? 1,000 bob. So this slot is worth 1,000 shillings, assuming that the dollar is equivalent to 100 shillings, all right? But at the end, I'm going to give you the exact calculation per slot, okay? For practicality, let's use this. Now, the second slot is worth $20. So if you need these two slots to earn you money, you have to purchase them. One at $10, the second one at $20. All right? Now, you're also going to understand that the next slot is twice more expensive than the previous one. So the first slot is only $10. The second slot is $20, meaning it is twice more expensive than the previous one. The third slot is $40, which means it is twice more expensive than the previous one. All right. Then we go to the fourth, which is $80, $160, $320, $640, $1280, $2560, 51, $20. This is 10 to $40 and 20 for $80. All right, so times 100, this is 2 million. This is 1 million. This is over 500,000. This is 256,000. This is 128,000. This is 64,000, 32,000, 16,000, 8,000, 4,000, 2,000, 1,000. All right, now the next slot is twice more expensive than the previous one, and so is the earning. The earnings you make in every next slot is twice more than the earnings in the previous slot. All right, now I also need you to remember that every slot can only make you a maximum of its worth. What do I mean? The first slot can only make you $10. All right, the sixth slot can only make you 32,000, which is $320. The 12th slot can make you $20,480. That comes to over 2 million. All right, with the current value of Ethereum, that goes to over 3.3 million. I'll explain to you afterwards. All right, so that is the value of each slot. Now, how does this make you money? How does this slot help you make money on X3? How do you make the 100% commission? All right, now this is what happens. Let's assume, let me use one of your names. Let me say Jennifer. Let me use Jennifer. Now let's assume that Jennifer comes into business and she decides to open 6 slots. Okay, so this is Jennifer. Jennifer decides to invest on 6 slots. So she'll open the first slot, the second slot, the third slot, the fourth slot, the fifth, and the 6th slot. Now, how much is it going to cost her? It will cost her $10 plus $20 plus $40 plus $80 plus $160 plus $320. This is around over $750. Over $750. All right. Now, how do you make money from this slot? Now, Jennifer goes ahead and introduces Mr. Ndegwa. All right. So Jennifer comes here and introduces Ndegwa. Okay. Now, Jennifer is going to earn 100% of every amount that Ndegwa is going to spend in opening each slot. All right, I need you to get that right. Jennifer will make 100% of what the person she has brought is going to do what? Is going to spend in opening each slot. All right, now this is what happens. Ndegwa comes in and opens the first slot. What is this, how much is he going to use? He's going to spend $10 in opening this slot. So what happens? Jennifer is going to earn 100% of that. Okay, so if Ndegwa only opens 1 slot, Jennifer will only make the $10. However, when Ndegwa comes ahead and opens the second slot, you will still make 100%. Okay, when Ndegwa comes and opens the third slot at $40, you'll earn that 100%. When he comes and opens the fourth slot at $80, you still earn that 100%. Now, look at this. Jennifer has opened 6 slots, but Ndegwa has only opened 4 slots. So because Ndegwa has only opened 4 slots, Jennifer will earn a maximum of what Ndegwa has spent in opening the slot. So that means she will only earn to the fourth slot. All right. However, when Ndegwa comes later on and upgrades his slot and decides to open the 5th slot at $160, Jennifer will still earn 100% of that slot. Okay. When he comes and opens this at $320, Jennifer will still earn 100%. So Jennifer is going to earn 100% of what Ndegwa is spending on all the slots. All right. But now, look at this. There's a possibility that you'll come and bring somebody who will invest more than you. Most of the time, it's always about birds of the same feathers flocking together, where you'll be shown the opportunity and you ask me, how many slots do you have? So that you can open the same number of slots as me. The same, like here, Ndegwa comes and asks Jennifer, how many slots did you open? Jennifer says 6, and Ndegwa also decides to open 6, like the person who invited him. All right. Now, what if the person you invited comes in and invests more than you? Because remember, the more slots you have, the more money you're going to make. All right. Now, how is this going to affect you? Now, Jennifer comes in and opens her 6 slots. 6 slots. So it will cost $10 plus 20 plus 40 plus 80 plus 160 plus 320. All right. But Ndegwa comes in and invests on more slots. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and even 8 slots. All right, so that means it will cost Ndegwa $10 plus $20 plus 40 plus 80 plus 160 plus 320 plus 640 plus 1280. All right, now look at this. Let me talk a bit about M-Pesa. Let's say, for example, Jennifer wants to withdraw 100,000 from her M-Pesa. Okay, then she goes to M-Pesa A, and she's told that this M-Pesa only has a float of 40,000. What happens? Because you want 100,000, you'll withdraw the 40,000, but you still have a deficit of 60,000. What happens? You'll go look for M-Pesa B and withdraw the 60,000, right? Now what happens? M-Pesa A will have only made 40,000, meaning M-Pesa A has lost the 60K, right? Simply because M-Pesa A didn't have the float. So this is the same thing that happens here. You can only earn to the maximum of the slots you have activated. Now, in this case, you've only activated 6 slots. Now, because you've activated 6 slots, you can only earn in the 6 slots that you've activated. The same way, this guy can only hold a maximum of 40,000 because that is the float that he has. Okay, so this is what happens. Your first slot will make $10. Your second slot will make $20. Your third slot will make $40. Your fourth slot will make $80. Your fifth slot will make $160. Your sixth slot will make the $320. However, remember, this slot, this $640, needs to go somewhere, right? It needs to go somewhere. Now, what does that mean? Because you don't have this slot, what happens? This money will go looking for somebody who already has. When it comes at the top here and finds that that Bernard has it, what happens? Because Bernard has already opened this slot, he is going to earn the $640. So you're going to lose the $640. All right. The same thing is going to happen with the $1280. If it comes and finds that you yourself, because you're the one who introduced this person, doesn't have the slot, and it also finds that Bernard doesn't have the slot, but it goes higher and finds that who has let me see who's to use, and finds that Jeremiah has it. Okay, we find that Jeremiah has this slot. What happens? Because Jeremiah opened this slot at 1280, this money will go to Jeremiah, all of it, the $1280. Now remember, Bernard doesn't know this person. Let's assume that Bernard doesn't know Ndegwa, all right? But simply because Jennifer didn't have this slot, Bernard will make it, all right? Now, the same thing here. Let's assume Jeremiah doesn't know Bernard and doesn't know Ndegwa. What happens? Jennifer will lose the money, Bernard will lose the money, but Jeremiah will earn the money. All right? So assuming that this is you, simply because you have more slots, you are going to earn more money from people that you don't even know. All right. So in this case, once you've earned until slot 6, from slot 7 and slot 8, you'll have lost the $640 plus the $1,280. This is 0, this is 2 carry 1, 6, 7, 9, 1. So you will have lost $1,920. This is a lot of money to lose. So that is why I always advise, go for as many slots as possible, because you never know the person you're going to recruit. Okay, they might come in with less amount of money, or they might come in with more money. Somebody might want to invest $1 million. I've seen of people investing 8.6 million. They go all in. All right. So which means if the person who invited them didn't have the slots, they lost a lot of money. All right. Too much money. Okay. Now, once you've earned until this point, there are 3 things you can do with that money. Number 1, you can decide to reinvest your money on what? On the next slot of X3, which means you come open this slot 7 so that you don't lose money next time. All right. Number 2, you can decide to reinvest on what? On X4. Remember, here we were only talking on how you can make 100% commission from X3, from the direct referral, the direct people you've brought in the business. All right. Now, on X4, you're going to earn from the team. So you can decide to reinvest on X4. Okay. Number 3, you can decide to withdraw this money and use it. The choice is yours. All right. However, at this particular time, as we are starting, I always encourage, our newest members that make sure that you reinvest back in the slots, as many slots as possible. Have as many slots as possible. Why? Because as the value of Ethereum goes higher, what happens? The value of every slot goes higher, which means you're going to use more money when the value of Ethereum has gone higher than today. All right. So when is the best time to get started? The best time to get started is today, before the value of Ethereum has gone even higher. So you'll spend less today than what you'll spend tomorrow, or what you'll spend after a week. Okay. Now, let's assume that you decide to reinvest back into the business and you decide to reinvest on X4. How is X4 going to benefit you? Okay. Now, look at this. This is you. Okay, so we are going to talk on how you are making money on X4. How do you make money from the team? All right. Now, this is you. You come, you get in. All right. Then you open your X3. You reinvest back on X4. So you have both the platforms. You have platform X3 and you have the platform X4. Now, how do you make money in this? Now, remember I said, when you directly bring somebody, you come, you bring somebody A, person A. When person A opens their X3, what happens? You earn 100% of what they'll spend on opening their slots. So if this person has invested $1 million on X3, as long as you have the slots, you'll go home with $1 million. It doesn't matter how long you've been in the business. You might get in today, tomorrow you bring somebody, they get in with $1 million. As long as you have the slots, you're going to go home with $1 million. But if you have less slots than what this person is going to bring, you'll only earn to the maximum of the slots you have. How powerful is that? All right. Now, when person A goes ahead and opens X4, all right, what happens? You, because you're the one who brought him as your direct, you are not going to earn X4. This X4 will go to your upline, the person above you who already has the X4. Are you together? So you'll not earn, even if this person spends $1 million in opening the X4, you are not going to directly earn. It will go to your upline. All right. But now, what is the beauty of this system? What is the importance of you losing that money? Okay. Now, this is what happens. Remember, person A is also going to bring somebody. So person A goes ahead and directly registers or directly sponsors person B. All right. What's going to happen? When person B opens X3, what's going to happen? Because person A is the one who brought person B, he or she is the one who is supposed to earn 100% of this X3. So person A will earn 100% commission. If it is 1,000 bob, if it is 100,000, if it is 1 million, person A will earn 100%. All right. However, when person B comes and opens X4, what happens? Person A will not earn the X4, even though he's the one who brought person B. What happens? The money that will be spent on X4 to open X4 by person B will go all the way to what? To the upline of person A, which means you are the one who will earn the X4. So if this person has spent $1 million on opening X4, you as the upline of person A will make 100% of that amount. If he spends 4 million, you will earn 100% as long as you have the slots. All right. So if you don't have the slots, the X4, it will come past you and go to your upline who already has the X4. All right. Now, how powerful is that? Look at this. There's a probability that you come in, all right, you bring person A, only one person, you only bring person A. But person A goes ahead and brings 5 people. So that means he brings person B, he brings person C, he brings person D, he brings person E, and even brings person F. So how many people? Person 1, person 2, person 3, person 4, person 5. So your person A goes ahead and brings all these people. Okay? You're going to agree that person A is going to earn the X3 of person C, X3 of person D, X3 of person E, and X3 of person F. So all of them, all this amount will go to person A. All right? Because he's the one who has directly brought these 5 people. Now, how do you benefit from that as an upline? This is how you benefit. When these guys come and open X4, it goes to you or it comes to you. When person C comes and opens X4, it still comes to you. Same to this, same to this, same to this X4. So all their X4, imagine you only brought one person, but because this one person that you brought has brought 5 people, you're going to earn 100% from all their X4s. How powerful is that? Very, very powerful. And that is why, my friends, this business is not tied on the number of people that you've directly brought. You might bring one person, but from that one person, he goes ahead and brings 100 people. What happens? From those 100 people, you're going to earn all their X4s. So that is why it is important to have both X3 and X4. However, you'll notice at the end of the day that the X4 will make you more money than your X3. Are we together? All right. So it is not tied on the number of people you brought. Okay. However, I always encourage people, go for as many people as you can. If you can go for 5 people, 5 people is a very powerful number. All right. Why? Let's look at this. Assuming you come and get started. All right. You open your X3 and you open your X4. Remember, you can open X3 first, then you come open X4 later, or you can open both of them at the same time. I always encourage, go for both of them at the same time. Open X3 and X4 at the same time. All right, now look at this. You've opened X3 and opened X4. Then you come and recruit only 5 people. All right, so you open, you bring person 1, person 2, person 3, person 4, and person 5. Okay, so when person 1 opens X3, person 2 X3, person 4 3X3, person 4 X3, and person 5 X3, what happens? All of this, all the X3s will come to your X3. All right, 100%. Okay, I'm not going to talk about the pass up now. Okay, now you'll earn 100% of the X3s, right? Now, this is from 5 people, only 5. So assuming they open up to 8 slots. You're going, and you also have 8 slots. You're going to earn around 256,000 from each one of them. All right. So 256,000 times 5, that is some good money. All right. Now, from this team of only 5, you're in a circle of 5 people. Okay. Remember, it's easier to work with 5 people than 100 people. Now you only have 5 people. Then you come and teach these 5 people to only bring 5 people each. So what happens? This guy, person 1, goes ahead and brings 5 people. Only 5. Okay? Now when person 1 brings 5 people, what happens? When they come and open their X4s, how many people are you going to earn from? On X4 from one person? 5 people. So imagine from the 5 people each, with all the 5 people you have, you're going to have 25 people who will help you make money on your X4. But only 5 people are going to help you make money on your X3. How powerful is that? Imagine from only 5, you're going to have 5 other people that you're entitled to earn from. Okay? Now this is how powerful this is. Remember, by the time, the goal is to have all the 12 slots. That is the goal, to have all the 12 slots, each one of us, because with the more slots you have, the more money you're going to make. All right? Now, by the time you open from slot 1 to slot 12, with the current rate of Ethereum, you would have spent around 6.6 million. Okay, in opening all the 12 slots. So that means from all these 5 people, by the time they open 12 slots, this person will have spent 6.6 million on X3. We're only talking about X3. 6.6 million, 6.6 million, 6.6 million, 6.6 million, 6.6 million. Yourself, you spend 6.6 million also. So that means only one person would have helped you earn back your investment, the entire of it. All right? Even if that person comes in today and opens all the 12 slots, you make your 100% income today. So which means you return your 100% investment today. How beautiful is that? All right? Now, one person has helped you earn back your money. From the 4 people, you're going to keep it. So 6.6 million times 4, that is good income, over 20 million, right? Now, from the X4s, once all these 5 people open their X4s, what happens? You're going to earn X4s from all these people. Remember, on X4 also they'll spend 6.6 million. Now, that means you'll make 6.6 million from all the 25 people. Isn't that a huge amount of money? A lot of money. And that is the power of only having 5 people. We are not going for 1 million people. You're not going for thousands of people. No. Just look for your inner circle, a good number of people that, these guys, if we hold hands and we make our plans and we play our strategies right, we are all going to move to slot 12, both on X3 and X4. If you get to slot 12 each, that is a huge amount of money you guys are going to be making. A huge amount of money. All right. Now, the beauty of the system is that you don't have to go all in. Remember, starting with 12 slots, that is going to cost you around 6.6 million. If you don't have 6.6 million, what do? The system has given you the opportunity to start with the number of slots that you have and come and update them later on. So remember, the goal is to what? To get to slot 12. 12 slots. This is where now money is. This is where you can now say you are now doing the real business. All right, from slot 12. Okay, and that's it. And until that point, I'd like to welcome questions, and anything that you need clarifications on, feel free to ask. All right, any questions? Anyone, you can unmute yourself and ask any question that you might be having. Any questions? Any question from Andrew? Any question from Jennifer? From Peter? Ndegwa? Any questions, please? No questions. It's either we've understood or we've not understood. Which one is it?
On my part, I have tried to understand as much as I would.
Yes, Peter? You've muted yourself.
I think people are still digesting the millions that you've mentioned, but I just want to say that is fantastic presentation, so clear and so precise. For me, I've been taking notes.
Awesome.
Seriously, that is amazing. And guys, I have never seen anything like this. And given that it's a smart contract, there is no one who is in control. I mean, this thing is available on the blockchain. It is, it will be there. No one can stop it, just like Bitcoin, no one can stop it. And that's what just kills it. And yes, I think this is an amazing program. So thank you so much. So guys, ask questions. Yes, ask questions.
Peter? Thank you, thank you.
I have no question. The only thing I can say, the presentation was very, very good. It's clear. Even yesterday, when I heard you for the first time, I understood. And today, I think I'm better than how I was yesterday.
Awesome. Awesome, thank you. All right, so anyone else? John?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you so much.
John?
Louder, please, louder.
We can't hear you.
You can't hear me? Let me type.
John, can't hear you.
Just speak louder. What we are saying is that you are a bit faint. We could hear you at a distance. Just speak louder to the camera, I mean to the phone.
Okay. What I'm saying is I just want to thank Ivan for the presentation. It was really a very powerful presentation. I've understood it, and yeah, I can't wait to just start making that kind of money. Thank you so much, Ivan.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. Thank you, Joanne. Actually, in fact, I know I'm getting ahead of our leader, but we have a plan to be able to execute this in the next 90 days. So we work with our 5 to achieve all the slots within 90 days, that is in the next 3 months. And voila, we will achieve that. I think we will even do better than that. So yes, like you said, you are not waiting you are raring to just go. Thank you. Even you are muted. You are muted. You're not.
Sorry,
we can't hear you.
Sorry, sorry. As I was saying, that is powerful. The 90 days game plan can actually bring in more money, and I'm sure you guys can get to the 12 slot very, very fast. And with the 12 slots, remember in Kenya there are not so many people who have the 12 slots. So which means there's so much money you're going to make from the entire team and the entire ecosystem once you've hit the 12 slots. Okay, there's a lot of money. So like, for example, if you check your accounts right now, you might realize that you've already started making money on X4 and probably even have more on X4 than what you have in X3. Okay, so the goal is to have as many slots as possible because that is where the big money is. Remember, the rule of investment is very simple. the more you put in, the more you get out. All right. And that is why the more slots you're going to have, the more money you're going to make. All right. And that's very, very powerful. Okay. Anyone else before we go look into the system? Anyone else? Awesome. So probably you can go, I can just share my screen so that you can check the system, so that for those who have never seen the Forex system can be